In today's episode of Entrepreneur Corner, we are discussing SONA, which was delivered by the newly elected president, Cyril Ramaphosa. And this week also, the finance minister will deliver the budget speech. So Anton, the one key thing that the president spoke about was support for small businesses or SMEs. And so I just want to find out from you, how does that factor, the budget that's coming up, because there will be allocations for different sections, education, taxes, etc. So how do small businesses factor in or benefit from the budget?
Well, one thing that President Ramaphosa did indicate quite strongly in SONA was a supporting and enabling environment for small businesses. And that's obviously what we discuss every week.
Yes.
And that made me quite confident and happy that there is going to be change, hopefully, because we've been hearing this for a long time. I think that government has always had the best intentions, both from a budgetary and sort of enabling environment to create entrepreneurship opportunities and small business opportunities. I think that in application and practice it hasn't been delivered well. So hopefully this is a new opportunity for the small business sector to take its rightful place as really potentially the biggest employer and job creator in our economy. It's going to require some brave decisions, some brave steps from government. For example, I'm eagerly anticipating the budget speech to hear if there are going to be any tax breaks, further tax breaks for SMEs and SMMEs.
Yeah.
Because you can't grow businesses if you're taxing the life out of them. So just that's one element, but there's a whole host of other things that need to come in play from an enabling environment perspective for SMMEs.
So as small business owners or SMMEs, how should they position themselves as the budget is coming up? What should they do from their side?
I think we're all quite nervous. I'm not a budget analyst, but I've been listening to those people that are experts and a lot of analysts and a lot of people involved in this sort of investing game. And there seems to be a little bit of concern that because government's sitting on a 50, 60 billion rand revenue shortfall,
yeah,
that's going to mean higher taxes. It's going to potentially mean an increase in VAT.
Yes.
And obviously these things will impact on the small business sector and its ability to, I suppose, grow. The nice thing is that by their very nature, entrepreneurs and small business owners are nimble and they can respond to things, and more than perhaps big corporates can even. So, if there are changes, if there are new taxes that come into play, which I hope there won't be, but there might be.
You mean, for example, increases to what's already on the table?
Correct. So we're looking at potential increases in personal income tax, potential increases in VAT, which is a big one.
Yeah.
I think that if VAT does go up, it's going to basically put pressure on everyone's pockets. And certainly the entrepreneurial sector is not going to be exempt from that, because if people have less disposable income, it means less business opportunity and less growth opportunities for that sector.
Yes.
I think one way of counteracting that potentially, like I said, SMMEs and SMEs and entrepreneurs are by nature nimble, and they can respond and they can adapt. They can play with their pricing a bit more. They can reduce overheads a lot easier than, for example, a big multinational corporate could do. And that's what you've got to do at the moment. You've got to actually be able to roll with the punches, take advantage. In every tight scenario, there's always potential benefit. And if we just look at, for example, the water crisis in Cape Town,
yes,
it's killed some businesses. I mean, who would want to own a car wash right now? But by the same token, it's opened up opportunities. I mean, if you're in water purification or borehole drilling, you basically can name your price. So, I think with anything, there's always this yin and yang. Where things are tough, perhaps if taxes are increased or if pressures are applied to the business sector in general, it will create other opportunities on the other side. And I think that's what entrepreneurs need to be open to at the moment, is to sort of be a bit nimble, hustle a bit, and be looking for opportunity where there is potentially difficulty facing us.
So would you say it calls on SMMEs or small business owners to be more creative, to be more innovative? instead of just being afraid that taxes will be increased and therefore our businesses are at risk or they're threatened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you do when times are tough? You batten down the hatches. You tighten your belt. You shed unnecessary expenses. You control your costs a lot more. You try and push certain price points where you can. You minimize others. You might potentially sort of merchandise products and services together in a package so that you can offer them at a better rate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you can do. I think the key is just that business as usual is probably not going to be the best idea for a lot of smaller businesses at the moment, with things being tight, with potential changes in revenue structure and taxation and so on. Things are going to be tough. So by all means, be nimble, be responsive, be open to change, and don't sit still, because if you sit still, you're going to get left behind.